It's got the backing on it, but clean cut. Same thing, not a bad cut. Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. I have two babies in the back of my truck. Not the kind of babies you think, but they're definitely babies. Now here are the two babies I was talking about. Baby tile cutters. Quick comparison and test on a $20 MD company Amazon tile cutter, 14-inch, and a Sigma $120 tile cutter as well. So, very simple video, guys, really. Gonna talk about the pros and the cons, compare the two. We're gonna cut an array of tile with each tile cutter. So, let's talk about the tile that we're gonna cut. So here's the tile we're cutting today with these two baby manual tile cutters. We've got some decorative porcelain 8x8, 3/8 of an inch thick. We'll cut some 3x12 white ceramic. We will cut fairly thick glass here. This is about a little under 3/8 of an inch thick with the tile cutters. And of course, large format. 12x24 ceramic. And 12x24 porcelain. Again, 3/8 of an inch thick here. There's the porcelain. So, let's quickly talk about the two tile cutters, the $20 tile cutter versus the $120 tile cutter. Talk about the pros and cons, who would benefit with the cheap tile cutter and who would benefit with the more expensive Sigma. Okay guys, so here we are. We're just gonna quickly talk about some of the features of these small tile cutters, these 14-inch tile cutters. Now keep in mind, we all know that the Sigma is obviously the more superior tile cutter. It's been around for a long time. You can just obviously tell the build quality is much better than the MD building company tile cutter. We want to simply talk about who would benefit from purchasing a cheap tile cutter versus a high-end tile cutter. So let's just talk about some of the features of each tile cutter. We'll start with the cheap $20 MD products. You've got a double rail system here. This is a push cutter, push towards the fence. We've got a fence right here. It's very light, some rubber on the bottom, but again, it's cheap. I noticed that already. The feet are coming off, but I'm sure it'll do the job. And then you have this guy over here, the Sigma. I mean, this thing is good looking. It's got spring-loaded tray here, a big fence, a very heavy-duty rail system, and this is a pull cutter. They both essentially do the same thing, whether it's a push, whether it's a pull. It's all about really preference. But three major things I want to point out that really separate these two tile cutters. We'll start with the wheel. This Sigma right here, I'd imagine this wheel to score and cut and snap will last a very long time. You probably won't need to replace this wheel right here for at least 5 years. I'd imagine that This tile cutter wheel is inexpensive and it would burn out fairly quick. So one benefit I would just right off the bat, the Sigma, I guarantee, has a much more superior wheel. The second is this spring tray system. This will help with difficult tiles to snap and cut. Of course, these can do large format. You can build a shower with 12-inch by 24-inch tiles with these small tile cutters and a wet saw for the side walls. These cutters would work for the back wall of the shower. But the most, I think, important thing to point out as far as comparison and quality is the rail system. If you're working with difficult tile, right now, of course, obviously, porcelain is one of the most popular tiles out on the market right now. It's very thick, 3/8 of an inch at least, most of it, up to a 1/2 inch. And we will test that out today. But as you can see, I'll show you closely, I can just feel this system flex a lot. I don't know if you can see these rails bend up compared to this thick steel rail of the Sigma. This thing is not bending or moving and will snap and cut very, very hard tile. But again, this is a $20 tile cutter. This is a $120 tile cutter. So what we're going to do is simple. We're going to test, again, an array of different types of tile and glass, show you how they cut, talk about the benefits, of course, and we'll talk about who this cutter is made for, whether it be a DIYer or a tile contractor starting out, and obviously who this tile cutter is for, the quality build and the long-lasting longevity. So let's get all set up here, cut some tile, show you how it scores and snaps, and then just do a final conclusion. Here we go. Okay, we're gonna first start with the 12-inch by 24-inch white ceramic. We're gonna cut it with the $20 tile cutter, and then follow up with the $120 tile cutter, the Sigma. And we're gonna do the same for each tile. The 12 by 24 porcelain, an 8 by 8 hard porcelain, a 4 by 12 white ceramic, and lastly the 4 by 12 3/8 of an inch thick glass. Here we go. The Sigma has a very cool rapid positioning button, 45s or straight cuts. Here we go. Extremely clean, sharp cut. Looks like we got to remove this fence here. Not a bad snap. Little rough on this left side here, but let's move on. 12 by 24 high gloss hard porcelain. Again, a very clean cut on the Sigma. Again, 12-inch by 24-inch hard porcelain. And that cut clean as well. We'll move on to 8x8 hard porcelain. Clean cut for hard porcelain. All right, the $20 tile cutter. Just real quick, as you can see, it's already kind of taken a beating. That paint's coming off, and where is it? One of these, yeah, this keeps coming off as well. But it's cutting. Yep, cut it, no problems. 4x12 white ceramic, a quick rip. Like butter. Same tile, 4x12 ceramic. As expected, last but not least, we'll cut some glass. It's got the backing on it, but clean cut. Okay, now the $20 tile cutter. Same thing, not a bad cut. Well, there you guys have it. A $20 14-inch tile cutter versus a $120 tile cutter. I'm gonna get right to the point. They both cut all of the material, but as you can see, that rail system is already looking abused. Parts seem to fall off very easily. Plain and simple, it's 20 bucks. This is for a homeowner or a DIYer. Use it for a few projects in your house, some flooring, maybe a shower. Set it on the shelf or give it to your brother-in-law. This tile cutter is meant for tile contractors who cut a lot year after year and want a very well-built, sturdy tile cutter. I hope you enjoyed the quick video, guys, on a cheap tile cutter versus a high-end tile cutter. As usual, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.